Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to pull up Instagram for learning purposes, not to post. Wait, Yulia sent it to me. Oh, I sent her a bunch of kitty cats too. Okay, here we go. All right.
My documentation system for the show is nuts.
Oh yeah, no, it's this is very important. So yeah, there's a bunch of cats. No, they're doing silly things, guys. So yeah, Yulia sent this to me yesterday, and it blew my mind because I saw the first one and I was like, oh, like, is this a joke? But it's not. This this artist Avni Delvina, don't know who the hell they are, nor do I care, but just a true artiste, dare I say, where they've just very poorly photoshopped Trump into like just different events in history. Some of them are just not even events in history. One of them is just literally photoshopping his face onto the face of a lion. Which,
yeah, that one ruled. That set me.
Yeah, and the one of just his face on a wave, like an ocean wave. And it's perfect because his hair like goes with the breaking wave quite well. But
it's such bad Photoshop job that it just reminds me of when I was obsessed with One Direction and I would like take a picture of like them with whoever, another fan or like a woman, and just put my face.
Yeah,
like the woman.
Now, if you were,
and I'm sure my Photoshop was. I wish I still had them because some of them were actually really fucking good.
My new art show in Tirana, which is all of these images again, but
yeah, exactly.
So the whole. There's like 35 pictures or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
The exhibition is called Triumph, portraying Donald Trump as a spirit of freedom. According to the artist. So there's like ones of Donald Trump squatting Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, I think that's George Soros, I'm not entirely sure, and Ursula von der Leyen. And then they're just piled on top of him. Like
he's bench pressing them all. Yeah.
No, Kieran, they're squats, not bench press. Get it fucking right. Get the lift right. Trump. Yeah.
I think my favorite one is the Liberty Leading the People by De La Croix, and it's just Jennifer Lopez is Liberty for some reason. That one I don't understand. There's like a bunch of people I don't recognize, and then
I recognize everyone.
There's Obama, Kamala, Hillary Clinton, and then for
groveling at the feet of Jennifer Lopez is throwing me for a loop. As Jennifer Lopez entered into like libs of TikTok discourse or something that I'm unaware of.
Yeah, at first I thought
boy on the right with the tongue out.
I have no. It's so small I can't see. But I thought at first that J-Lo was Melania, but that is clearly J-Lo.
Yeah,
it's literally J-Lo. I don't understand. And yeah, there's like the little boy in the painting, who is like yielding a weapon, whatever. And I don't know who that is. I thought it was Timothée Chalamet at first.
Me too.
Which would have been much more confusing.
Do you know who I thought it was at first?
Who?
Kirsten Stewart.
No.
Short hair.
That low key, Kristen Stewart would fit into the Trump lore because remember, like 12 years ago, where he would tweet out to Robert Pattinson being like, "You don't need her."
Yeah, true. That was crazy.
This is how it all started.
Yeah, that one is the only one that doesn't have Trump in it, but that's because all the people I never would have thought to expect, the French Revolution as the woke revolution, because then on the French flag it says "We stay woke."
Yeah, it's I I love finding it is a type of European conservative that I really enjoy, who's just like the French Revolution was a mistake. That's a type of person that I'm like, oh, interesting. You're like you're like in favor of like the third estate. What's going on here? Like, who are you? You're like a royalist? I don't understand.
Yeah, you're an Albanian royalist. What is this? I mean, it's the thing too.
Bring back Zagu or whatever.
Yeah,
Zogu.
the thing too of it is, which I always kind of really appreciate from like anywhere in the Balkans, is that like don't try to decipher this with like your brain of understanding politics, because whoever is making this is like, it is the same politics as like the Maloney restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
There's something, I don't know if it's just like you know, maybe it was like, you know, crazy social engineering under what was his name? The Albanian communist leader. Haja, yeah. Like, it may have been just like a project gone awry, that then now we have just like 30, 40 years later. Nothing makes sense. Just like, you know,
I think
I'm going to Photoshop these people who I think are my best friends into them doing cool stuff.
It does, like, everything that comes out of Albania that's vaguely political, because, you know, you have your various like pop bangers coming out of Albania, which is, I guess, what it's like to be apolitical in that country is just, I'll just become Dua Lipa too. Duo Lipa.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Quality jokes. That's why everyone subscribes to this podcast. But like, everything political that comes out of this country does feel like under Eddie Rama's Albania, it always feels like soft power, but my budget is -$5.
Yeah. Yeah, the only influence that I have is a bunch of random people in New York who just flash the Albanian sign at every opportunity that they have.
I think Rama's lost them, to be honest. Actually, I think this is one of the crises.
I don't think he ever, like, to be honest, I don't think that they ever knew that he existed.
No.
Sorry, I know you guys were having a very interesting conversation.
No, we weren't. What are you talking about?
It's just, I'm so stuck on that kid. Could it be yassified Baron Trump?
No, why would Barron be there? Barron's not woke. These are all like soldiers of the woke revolution that then Trump is killing.
No, but then Biden is on the floor there.
Yeah, because he's woke.
Yeah, like I
and there's also there's like Bill Gates.
Let's say we stay woke.
Yeah.
Then who the fuck? Whatever.
Maybe it is like, Timothy Chalamet. Because he is Timothy Chalamet is the white boy who's been flying too close to the sun lately.
But he's not like he's never said anything about politics. He's not I don't know.
I don't know. Like, a lot of this just feels like, okay, it's American far right slop interpreted through like Google Translate Albanian.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Because like I'm sometimes just thinking, oh, like Timothée Chalamet, I could totally imagine like Eastern European conservatives being like, oh, this is not a manly man.
Yeah, his hair's too wavy. He must be gay.
Yeah. Put him up there with Biden and Jennifer Lopez, who
if you don't if you don't have a low taper fade according to the Balkan mindset, you're gay. You're effeminate.
I'm gonna have to Google later if Jennifer Lopez ever said anything about Kosovo. Is this why she's here? Like,
I don't understand. I think they were just like, who's a famous American person? Jennifer Lopez. There you go.
Or like, I Googled Melania or someone. I Googled Alexander Ocasio-Cortez on Albanian Google, which is different for some reason. Google.al, and I
just showed another Latina.
It just showed Jennifer Lopez. With that said, Hey, welcome to your weekly Corner Späti. We here appreciating high art. We all got glasses of wine in our hands and berets on.
It's like 11 in the
Smoking a
morning.
cigarette,
It's 11 in the morning. Wine time, baby.
Wine time, baby. This is a European podcast, mind you. Yes, as Uma said,
Yeah.
we're all smoking. I'm I don't eat food. It's simply just coffee and then at
And
past
cigarettes.
11, past 11 o'clock is wine.
Before I went to this rising star in Tirana, Albania. Before I went to that gallery, I was actually at a really avant-garde gallery, which was just 20 different clocks that have replaced all the numbers with wine time in a gallery.
You honestly, you laugh about that, but as a person who wants to do something on the weekend in Berlin,
Yeah, I'm going to the wine time clock gallery.
No, you look up what to do this weekend, and it's exhibitions this weekend, and I'm just reading I don't understand any of what's going on. Am I stupid? What is this?
No, you're not stupid. It's that it's simply that this city is first off, art, contemporary art in general, bad mostly. And then Berlin is just
here, folks.
Berlin is so shot too that you get you legit get the dopiest garbage, it is. I completely understand why people don't interact with art shit here, because it really is laughably terrible, what you would expect as an American being oh, here's some Europeans going to stare at an empty room with one thing in a gallery that's also blank. I don't know how many galleries there are that are in Mitte, where it's just maybe 3 of the most atrocious paintings you've ever seen, and it's all right, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I think my biggest boomer opinion is that if I have to put on a VR glasses to see your exhibition,
I'm out of here.
I am not fucking doing that.
Yeah,
I enjoy going to galleries. I like all the stupid art. I'm going to the wine time clock gallery and then getting to my knees and crying at the one clock that's replaced wine time with Miller time. Just it's
I'd like that. All right, yeah. I would appreciate that. No, but there's
I'm with you on the VR goggles thing though. Yeah.
I remember I went to one gallery thing. What is it at? It was at Gropiusbau or whatever, in also in Mitte. And it was an exhibition on migration, which sounds cool, and then you went into it and it was so unappealing, and then they had 2 VR goggle stations. Oof. And it was bad. It was first off, I love putting on VR goggles and I'm getting PS1 level of graphics.
That's the thing, exactly.
I don't mind the lo-fi graphics. My thing with the VR goggles is always just the amount of more conventional materials you could have bought for this.
Oh yeah.
It just seems like a bad exchange for value. I wish instead of this, I kind of dig the weird graphics that you did that I'm seeing through this. But you know what's cheaper? A little TV on a trolley. And I would happily watch on the little TV on the trolley. And then you can use the money that you pocketed for treats. Go for it.
Exactly. And actually, what you should add to the TV, that you should plug in a PS1 and your art exhibition just be, let me fucking play PS1.
My art exhibition is we all play Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, it's me, Kieran. I'm joined by Nick and Uma.
Oh my god.
It's the intro. Hey.
Still, hi.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. All fellow art enthusiasts.
I got a little Ireland update, which is woke up this morning to the storm that's going on in the news that about 700,000 homes are without power. I've been shared a video of someone trying to make tea by placing a tiny little teapot over a grate from a grill, and then underneath there's a candle. And trying to boil a little bit of water to make tea. And it's just like natural disasters when they hit Ireland is kind of funny because we are a little bitch country when it comes to natural disasters. Like the stuff that happens here would make anyone who lives in California or Turkey or Japan like roll their eyes. It's just nothing. But yeah, Storm Aelwyn or whatever. Hey, how you doing? Please don't knock out my power halfway through recording this session. Thank you.
Oh, that'd be yeah.
That would be so
speaking of Ireland, though, what's the deal with the tomatoes on a bridge?
Oh,
what happened there?
We are a society devoid of culture. This is the symptom of a sick culture.
Was that in Galway or?
No, I think it was Drumcondra.
Yeah.
So Nick, you haven't seen this.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hell yeah! So there is a bridge somewhere in Ireland that is literally called Cherry Tomato Bridge. And then
that's the name of the actual bridge?
I believe so. I'm trying not to engage with this. I've been having a great time all week on the new Am Jia Hong Shu. So I've not been engaging with like.
You don't need to download it, Kieran. TikTok works in Europe.
We'll get to that in the bonus episode, I think. But yeah, so Cherry Tomato Bridge, I believe, is actually the name of the bridge. And then they're putting, like, someone has actually started putting cherry tomatoes on the wall on the side of the bridge. And, like, now there's, like, picture frames of people with, like, of portraits of people with cherry tomatoes photoshopped over their heads. And people are going crazy for this. And
the bridge is called Bin's Bridge.
Oh, it's not called Cherry Tomato Bridge.
No, people started calling it because someone just like put a cherry tomato on it, and people just went with the joke and started putting more tomatoes.
Look, I will look. It's Kieran is an absolute crank about this, and I hate to be very reductive with Ireland's problems, but when rent costs this much, we can't do things. We can't go to the Wine Time Clock Gallery with the Crash Team Racing adjunct. That no one has that disposable income, so this is what we do instead.
Sure, look.
We see it on TikTok and we think we're having fun. We trick ourselves into thinking we're doing all right.
I think the funniest thing was
we have the highest suicide rate in Europe, and no one interrogates these two things.
I think the funniest thing that it broke containment of like Irish TikTok and Irish Twitter or Blue Sky, whatever, and people were asking their Irish friends, like, what's the deal with the cherry tomato bridge?
Like you just did.
Like I just did, exactly. Yeah. Oh, how racist of me. But, and this guy, I saw this guy that texted this person back being like, oh, it's a symbol of like, like basically making up this whole tradition thing.
No.
And the other person, who I assume was American or whatever, just ate it up, was like, oh, that's so beautiful.
Hell yeah. We're dumb as shit, baby. We'll believe anything.
We didn't get tomatoes in this country till the 80s. What are you talking about?
Exactly. It was really funny, though.
Yeah. Anyway,
it really it is cool that then Ireland really is like the only country in Europe still where like something like, I don't fucking know, the like cultural equivalent of stickball like can really like entertain an entire country.
We are a stickball ass country. Like fundamentally, we're still peasants.
Yeah. Oh wow! Ireland. We found a can and we're gonna start kicking it around. This is a national pastime.
And it's sometimes like I love that. This is my favorite thing about this country is just like, ooh, we got a new shiny circular TV screen in the public square that was in Poland previously. Let's go fucking nuts with this thing. Like, yeah.
Just show the Americans 9/11 memes.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good that the Irish at least have found Catholicism, because I feel that then at this point anything could become your god at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like, and even the Catholic God is barely our god. It's Catholicism mostly exists to say fuck Rangers in this country. It's barely an institution. No, I mean like the thing that similar to the Cherry Tomato Bridge, when they shut down the whatever it was called,
Portal thing.
the boob lens, what it ended up becoming. Yeah, the Irish Times article of like, this is why we can't have nice things, was correctly responded with, it wasn't a nice thing, because it was just another stickball, right? It was just like, it's just kind of funny, and like it's a bit of a laugh for a bit, but realistically, if it was gone, it was just like, yeah, it was a bit shit, wasn't it? We didn't really need that.
Also, I'm sorry, they put it in like the worst street in Dublin. Like Parnell Street? No, O'Connell Street, yeah.
Yeah, O'Connell Street.
Which is the worst. Like, that's, as a woman walking there at night, like,
O'Connell Street is a mess.
Street.
Yeah.
It's horrible. You're like, yeah, I don't know.
It's also because they just like don't know what to do with it, because they're like, oh, like this is the center. This is kind of like the center of town. It's kind of like a big high shopping street. Look, there's a decathlon here at the like south end of it, and then you go to the north end,
and we pray to the decathlon 5 times a day.
Yeah,
we all have to pray towards the decathlon, but not like the head office in France or whatever. The one that's on O'Connell Street. There's a separate sect of Irish people who believe you have to pray to the one in France. Anyway, no, because like the other end of O'Connell Street will then just be like a gambling establishment, and then like one of those 4D experience cinemas that no one goes into.
Yeah, it's the weirdest part of town. It's like, but like I think the worst part is in front of the GPO, which it's such a cool, like the GPO itself is such a cool place. It still has like the bullet holes and everything, and so I was like, really, it's a cool place to go check out. But then it's like, it's such a horrible place, and the McDonald's there, it's like, my God.
Yeah, that McDonald's is dangerous.
If you survive that McDonald's, you're like, you should get like a Purple Heart medal or something.
Yeah, you're a veteran now. Yeah,
exactly.
All right. So, before I'm done trashing Dublin, which I have to do because I'm from Cork originally, I simply must. I have what is going to possibly become an unfortunate recurring segment for a bit. A Eurovision update. Like just a little bit of a teaser. Eurovision is happening again this year. We assume, for reasons I will get into in a second, that there will be another boycott called. Even if there isn't, as I explained on the like last Only Mr. God Knows episode I did last year after the 2024 competition, Eurovision has to do a lot to win me back, because they intervened a lot in favor of Israel. It wasn't just like the criticism from BDS towards Eurovision was like, oh, Israel gets treated like a normal country, and it's not a normal country, and like that's a fair criticism. What happened last year was like, no, they get special treatment. Actually, they're a little special birthday boy, and we will silence all the booing and pretend all those kind of like weird harassment things they were doing to all the other contestants didn't happen. The weird like eSIM vote rigging scandal that was probably occurring, we'll also probably pretend that didn't happen.
But even worse, they blamed the harassment on the other contestants when it was Israel.
Oh, what? You mean like the country does itself?
Yeah, like Eurovision became Israel.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. In the sense that like it wasn't just ignoring Israel's harassment, it was blaming it on the other people and punishing these other people. Like, didn't what was his name?
Joost Klein.
Just Klein get like kicked out or something in the end?
Yeah, there was a lot of like hay made over. Like he did something that was not chill, but like the reason everyone objected to it was, hey, he's getting like the book thrown at him while you look away at like someone who's been like a far more consistent defender in the green room, which is Israel's like delegation. Anyway. You can go listen to those old episodes if you want, where I go into more detail about last year's competition. But we're not here to talk about that. Eurovision 2025 will happen. It'll be bigger. We're figuring out like logistics, where it's going to be, stuff like that. It'll be for charity again, and I'll be making more of my little lovely videos and whatnot for it. It's going to be a great time. The sequined cargo shorts may be happening.
You're gonna be sweating your ass off.
No, they're shorts. He'll be fine.
I'll be fine. They're shorts.
No, your ass is still gonna be boiling. I know it.
You forgot, Kieran. You've been in Ireland for far too long. You've forgotten what May in Berlin is like.
And in a room full of people while you're like presenting. My God.
Maybe you can get it like how like furries get like fan systems in their big things. So like, yeah, your shorts will be massive, but at least your ass will be cool.
Yeah, I can get the like furry developed technology that the U.S. military ended up buying off furries. That's not an exaggeration. That did happen.
My God.
Anyway, okay. So Eurovision updates. We got like a sudden. It was not yesterday as of recording. 2 days ago as of recording. It was like Wednesday, the 22nd, which was just an auspicious start to the Eurovision season for 3 events happening on the exact same day. One, Moldova suddenly just dropping out because their national selection was not very good. They did like the first round of their national selection, and like a guy went up there on like a really old guy went up on stage and forgot his words and just stood silently as the music was playing. Another guy read the lyrics from his phone, just like while singing. It was bad. So they canceled the rest of the competition, being like, we're gonna rejig our like national selection process to attract like, you know, the actual celebrities that we have in this country, hopefully, like, you know, Ozone 2 or whatever, to make Giurgusto Dinte to Giurgusto to Dinte. But like, so that was a problem. There's also probably things going on of like, there's a crisis in Transnistria at the moment, which is probably not helping. You know, Moldova being like, hey, let's spend a bunch of money on the singing competition, while you know, they're kind of trying to annex Transnistria back because Transnistria is going through an energy crisis. So, you know, they're dealing with stuff. Second other thing is the Finnish national selection is going to be happening pretty soon, but a band dropped out because of noncing.
I am shocked that there's nonce allegations in a band.
Never.
Wait. First off, what kind of band were they?
Ooh, it's such a good question. They were called. They've been removed from the odds. You can't bet on them anymore because you know.
Oh yeah, because they're out. Yeah, they're
out. Yeah. Oh my God. Who's in?
One Morning Left. What a horrible name for.
Is that the band name?
Yeah. One Morning Left. Of course, they look like this. I told you. Fucking, I don't know if you can see.
One Morning Left.
Google them, please. Like.
Oh, they're a metalcore band. Of course, they're pedophiles.
Oh, hell yeah. So it was pretty easy because like they were like the lowest on the odd. They weren't going to win the national selection, but like one member of the band, allegations came out of like inappropriate relations with like underage girls, I want to say, and then the rest immediately, as soon as those allegations came out, the rest of the band was just like
the singer. Was it? It's always the singer.
Yeah. It's not always the singer.
No.
Women, be careful out there.
Thanks,
Don't just like beeline for the drummer thinking he'll be safe. The rest of the band just immediately like, I don't want to be in a band with you anymore. I don't think this band exists anymore. Bye, sorry, and they're out of the competition now.
There's no way they didn't know, though. This is so performative.
Yeah, it's very possible.
He's the singer, he's the main guy that you need in the band, and you don't know that he's a nonce.
It's another what me and Nick used to refer to in the scene as a load-bearing pedophile. This pedophile was holding up this band, and without it, the whole thing crumbles. The third thing that happened, and more, substantive to the boycott discussion, is, the Israeli national selection, Haklakav Haba, ended, and they've picked their musician, who is a one Yuval Raphael. She is a
raver.
She is a raver. Yeah, she was a survivor from October 7th, like the Nova festival rave thing that was happening, that was attacked. Someone pointed out that it was very interestingly that before the ceasefire thing happened, the competition was really pushing this like Palestinian Christian who was in the competition to be like the representative. And now the ceasefire has happened, and they've gone with the like October 7th survivor as kind of like, I don't know, there's an interesting strategy there, I think. But anyway, the whole thing looks like it's going to get politicized again on their end. So
obviously, and I mean, I stalked her Instagram, and she's been milking the fact that she was at the festival since it happened for her like career, singing career or whatever. Like literally her she posted something on the day after. I think she lost some friends or whatever. So she posted something in Hebrew, so I don't know what it said. And then the next post is like her singing, like a tribute or whatever. And then like it's just her singing the whole she's just been milking it. I am annoyed. She does have a beautiful voice, I will say. This
has always been the problem with Israel in this competition, is they do take it quite seriously, and they send pretty talented people.
Yeah, but the two before her were very much like, do you want to see me dance? Like it was more of
you will never forget.
I'm sorry, I hate her. I will end her. No, oops, sorry.
Actionable death threats. Oh, she's in the IDF. I think it's a fair fight.
Yeah.
Well, no, Uma's not like a 7-year-old Palestinian, so.
Oh, that's fair.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was more like the whole like Dua Lipa kind of. I mean, Dua Lipa has a nice voice, but it's more about.
Yeah,
well,
Israel
it's
has like
more than
exactly. Yeah, it is the thing of what happens when you have a country that is fake and has no culture, right? Like you can't actually have like a unique thing come out. It's always just like mimicking someone else, and that's why I'm happy, for example, that countries like Armenia last year like shifted away from just sending like an Ariana Grande clone that just happens to look like Kim Kardashian. Like it is.
Or they also would send like kind of opera singers.
Yeah, which that's another different type of cheesy European thing. But yeah, it is. Yeah. Israel kind of can't do we're going to send something of our culture, because either one, it's going to be like something stolen from the Middle East or whatever, from like Arab communities, or it's just isn't. Yeah, you get these really corny. You want to see me dance, chicas, and they really, I don't know. I'm gonna not say anything about this contestant for the sake of our show. So,
I'll agree to accept like they've always done like relatively competent pop songs.
Yeah,
and I'm surprised that. Well, I'm gonna see what their song is, because they've only selected the artist, but like. I really think the actual smart strategy would be to just go back to like Noah Kirill unicorn stuff of like, let's just pretend it's all fine now, and let's just do pop bangers. That would be the strategy I would go for if I was Israel.
Yeah,
but they don't want to do that. They want to keep milking the.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do this for another few more years.
This girl has a beautiful voice, so they're definitely gonna. Put out like a sad song about.
They're also
gonna try what they tried last year of like October Rain or whatever, but like more obvious. And
obvious than what the completely very obvious thing last year.
But like fully, like embracing it. And I think Eurovision this year is going to be like, yeah, sure, because ceasefire. So
I mean, they were also sure last year without a ceasefire. The other funny thing is Israel is so pissed that they don't get to be Ukraine, like in the sense that like
everyone's going to vote for them.
Yeah, like Ukraine actually received genuine sympathy in a way they did not. So another year of Israel insisting it should belong in the global Latino belt, and the world saying no and picking Greece instead or something.
In my opinion, the rightful winner of last year, but
she was good. Yeah, I'm glad that she's successful.
I am too. I'm very happy for my Greek pop queen. And and the thing is too that I just really like, it's like the whole thing with all the, like, it was very nice to see a bunch of the Eurovision contestants just piss on Israel last year.
I wonder what's gonna happen this year in regards of how the other contestants are going to be acting towards Israel, because a lot, like, they did face backlash last year, whoever was like standing up against Israel. So I wonder what's going to happen this year. If everybody's just going to pretend that nothing happened and nothing is happening. Because, mind you, there's a ceasefire in Gaza, but the West Bank is being bombed. So, like...
Yeah, and, like, let's see how long any of this lasts. Like, 5 months is a long time for things to change.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, you've already had comments from Netanyahu being like, Trump wants us to go actually further, so it's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
So let's see what happens there. In more cheerful news, we can talk about some of the, like, decent or, like, fun songs that are bubbling up from the other countries.
Yes.
Because we're in February, we will, like, by the end of February, we'll have, like, most of the songs done. So we're getting the start of that. Going back to Finland for a second, the song that's favored to win their national selection, and people are actually pretty, like, you know, bullish on that it would actually, like, win the whole Eurovision, is a song called Ich komme. German name, predominantly in English as the song, and it's just a woman writhing on the floor covered in, like, gold goo, talking about how she's coming. So,
hell yeah, that's the spirit of Eurovision.
That is the spirit of Eurovision.
Jesus Christ.
And similarly, out of Malta, we have a song called Can't, which is the I believe
it's a word for sing.
It's a word for, like, song or sing.
Or music or something like that.
In some Romance language, because it's not quite Maltese. Or, like, it's another word in Maltese, like a loan word,
something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, the chorus line repeats the term "surfing can't" over and over again. So
I do hope that they show pictures of Kant, like someone or someone dressed up as Immanuel Kant, just dancing with the girlie. playing rearguard defense of just like, no, we're not saying CUNT, just images of Kant.
We're appealing for the German vote this Eurovision.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That'd be fun, because that means I would have, if that gets through, I get to use my my Maltese postcard video, which is great. A lot of car bombs. I don't really know what else happens in Malta.
Is there going to be a Britney Spears song behind it?
That would make a lot of sense. Another reason that I'm very sad Moldova has dropped out is I found a really good metal cover of Dragusta Dinte.
Oh, that
to use for there.
I think you can just put it.
I'll just put it in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, put it for Romania. Who gives a shit?
Romania's also out. God damn it.
Why is Romania already out?
They're like, it costs too much. You have like a
belt.
Yeah, you have a belt.
They spend all that money on that stupid fucking church. Can't they pull a little bit more corruption and actually do something fun?
No, the last time they sent someone was that weird, sexy magician. That no one liked the sexy magician they sent last time.
No. And like rightfully so. That's a terrible combination of something that shouldn't be sexy.
No, the assistant is meant to be sexy.
Yeah, exactly. Not the magician.
These worlds must never meet. All right, so that's enough Eurovision. We should probably talk some actual like European politics stuff if we simply must. I've got one story out of another country that's not participating in Eurovision due to cost. Slovakia. So I think you've seen a bit of this as well, but Robert Fico is having a bad time. I think mostly because the gas from Russia is getting cut off.
Mm-hmm.
The gas that was transiting through Ukraine that was providing gas to a lot of Central European countries. It landed in Slovakia first in the EU, and then they made like a shit ton of money from transit fees of then sending that gas on to other countries, basically. Yeah, that's getting cut off. And in response, Robert Fico wasn't seen for like 3 weeks. Which, it's just like, he's having a great time. Things are going well. And
there's an anti-Fico protest today.
Oh, is there?
But there's been a few, but today is supposed to be pretty big. But yeah, he's not. I don't know if like the government is gonna crumble. He's not, doing anything to stop it.
Well, that was probably one of the funnier things about like him being gone for a couple of weeks is then he shows up again on the the 13th of January, and just like immediately like the first comment out of him is like, there won't be snap elections, and then that's all you heard from him, and it's just like, no one was talking about that. What's going on, dude? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Like he's at home binging, rewatching The Office. Like things are going bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So good luck to our friend Bobby Fico over there. Because it's bad and you're holding on by a thread, it seems.
Yep.
Anyway. I also have another story here that is actually pretty old, or old enough for us. Like it didn't happen this week, kind of thing. But no one outside of like a handful of French publications are talking about this.
Yeah, we have to always, when talking about it's fine to be late about France because there's always like a delay based on the language. It's okay.
Yeah, there's like a reverb pedal.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Put on the entire nation.
France could have collapsed 3 weeks ago, and we won't find out about it until now.
Yeah, it's kind of like how people tell you that some of the stars you look up at night probably exploded. Like,
France may not. France may not be there anymore. Yeah, France is just a black hole, and it's dragging Germany in with it.
So Jean-Luc Mélenchon, leader of La France Insoumise, one of the bigger parties in the Nouvelle Front Populaire or whatever, the New Popular Front, which did win the last election, but you wouldn't believe it based on how the governments have been acting since then. His house was attacked, broken into, and graffitied with graffiti that reads "Fuck Arabs." Long live Marine, and we found you. And also a handful of swastikas thrown in there for good measure. So, yeah, this was like a story that within France also didn't get enough attention. And even the media outlets that reported on it are weirdly suspect because they were kind of like right-wing media outlets. So people were like, it became kind of immediately suspicious, like how the journalists got, this info. Yeah. And also like the way the article was presented, all like on its face, like defensively in a court, you could say it's neutral, but people are kind of just like bragging almost a little bit with this. It's a little bit like, look how cool this is that this happened.
Yeah, really odd also in the sense too, coming from then like the media that then a few weeks ago was like, oh, how, the left, they're so horrible that they're celebrating the death of this great man. And then when it comes to like, I mean, a man who just fucking died of old age, who gives a shit? And then the sense of like actual acts of violence against like, left-wing politicians are like, oh, well, is what it is. What can we do about that? Oh, like, it's really like, I don't know. It's the whole like rights, like bullshit crocodiles tears shit. I just can't take anymore. These people are fucking awful.
So like, to speak to the crocodile tears, some national, like Marine Le Pen released a statement on like, this is not on, don't do this, don't attack like a politician's home, even though I disagree with him and I think he's Satan or whatever, don't do it. To which like the La France Insoumise and Jean-Luc Mélenchon like rejected the apology, basically pointing that to pointing to like a recent discovery of like a Facebook group, a National Rassemblement Facebook group that was like not official, but contained multiple images of just like Muslim women with like slogans being like, when are we sending them back, or like, how do we like suffer these people to live, etc., etc. To which like National Rassemblement defends themselves like, oh, it's not an official channel. To which people then responded with, why was Jordan Bardella in the group? Why is like your fucking prime ministerial candidate like second in charge, person who's probably going to take over this party after your like, I don't know, political career is made illegal or whatever. Yeah, why is he in here? Why did he post in this group like 4 years ago?
Hey, hold on. It's the same thing that Kai Wegner did, all right? He was just a mod. He was just making sure that they didn't dox people. Now, that's it. Just the same as Kai Wegner was on the Nazi forum to make sure that they weren't doing Nazi stuff. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was what's the Seymour Skinner defense of like, I was there to get directions away from there. Oh god.
I hate it here. Like I'm not in France, but just Europe in general. It's really trash. And the thing, like, that's the thing too, is that again, like you said, of the like the 3 week digital delay that we have on all times with France. It is always like, I mean, like, it is amazing to me how like horrible France is doing in so many other aspects that then just kind of get like either never talked about or brushed under the rug. Like, not even just in the sense of just like the rising. I mean, France has had a rising problem of just like open fascism, for over the last decade. But like even in the sense too of like the shit that like Macron's government is doing as well, just kind of like as you mentioned, of like you would have never known that the like left coalition was the like won the last elections, because like it's just shit like their like social welfare states being like cut left and right. No one really reports about it outside of France. There's you have to, and this may be hard for some people, but you have to like befriend French people to find out what's happening in the country.
Simply will not happen.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, there's like the analysis I also see is quite poor, because I was like checking out a new character in Kieran's life, TLDR News, which is like an online media company nonsense thing. That does very like it's I think I mentioned it on the last episode with Nick that like it very much has like EU elects brain. And like they had this analysis that like they do their kind of like weekly winners and losers of the week, and it was like, I think a winner of this week is actually Macron, because the Socialist Party left, like broke with the NFP, the new Nouveau Front Populaire, to like green light the new prime ministerial candidate Francois Bayrou, and it's like, yeah, and I think that means that like Macron has done really well this week, and it's like, that's terrible dog shit analysis. They've just facilitated the growth and rise of National Rally. Like the blocking of Macron's weird prime ministerial things was like by the left was not done because they hated Macron, which they do as well, but it was because it was like, this is clearly like a government that's being puppet mastered by Marine Le Pen and her ilk. Terrible analysis. So even when there is news coming out, it's just like so much of the picture I feel like is being lost with France.
Yeah, that's why you have to make friends with French people, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The various... I'm trying to think of other jokes, but all I have in my head is Pepe Le Pew from Looney Tunes.
Go for it. It's fine. Yeah.
Has he been cancelled yet?
Probably. Who cares? I mean, no, he hasn't been cancelled because he's French. That's just how the French are.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they actually he's still on TV. It's nuts over there. Like the only cancelled French person is Gérard Depardieu, and he's in just and
it's only because he's pro-Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not for the rape and shit like that.
The only cancelled French man. Anyway, to wrap up our episode here, Uma, you explained there was a cool documentary. I want you to explain the cool documentary because it's in a language I don't understand.
I mean, it's not about cats because
I did write that.
Kieran just wrote in the notes cat documentary.
I'm a busy man, Uma. I can't write Catalan. There's simply no time.
It's about something way less cool than cats, which is a couple weeks ago, a documentary came out called Infiltrats, which means infiltrated in Catalan. And it came out in the Catalan public TV. It's made by La Directa, or Directa, which is a newspaper that uncovered, infiltrated police members in Catalan left-wing activism groups. And this documentary focuses on those investigations. They uncovered 4 people specifically, 2 in Barcelona, 1 in Girona, which is nearby Barcelona, and 1 in Valencia. And all of them were cops. All of them went to the same academy in Avila, and then they were sent as their assignment to spy on these people, on these activists. And many of them had, sexual and emotional relationships with activists there, which is horrible.
Undercover cops really love doing that.
Yeah, because their whole reasoning is, it's a way of gaining trust of the people there. But then it's just like you're just abusing someone, basically. They're not giving you the consent. They don't know that you're a cop. And if you were a cop, they would obviously not have sex with you or any kind of relationship with you.
Yeah.
But the worst part is that one of them had a 3-year-long relationship. A 3-year, that's a lot of time with one of the activists. She even, because it was a policewoman, she even brought him to meet her parents, and her parents lied about her name, basically lied about this person's life to make the cover more realistic, which is how psychopathic do you have to be to do that? Even the police, they interviewed in the documentary a police, the spokesperson of the police union. And even this woman was like, that's not recommended. She shouldn't have done that. I don't understand why she did it. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's I do think about those things because similar things happened in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Where undercover MI6 or probably MI5 or just British police ended up in these like long-term relationships, some lasting a very, very long time.
Some even had kids. They showed there was this one British woman who was a victim of like one of these cops. But that was in Britain, it wasn't in Northern Ireland.
Yes, yeah. It was.
Spy Corps, like the scandal was called Spy Corps scandal or something like that. And the like she was with this person for like 6 years, and then this person went on to date a friend of hers also in the activism group, and they had children. Like this person had, and many of them had children. It wasn't just like this one guy. Many of them had children, and then suddenly it's like, oh, your dad is a cop and he was spying on us, and like he's not, he's dead now for us. Like that's insane. It's so crazy.
It is a horrific thing that seems to just keep happening over and over again in lots of different countries. Not like hearing about this is like not surprising.
Oh,
like,
I know.
Yeah, because we like it's putting two and two together. We know that countries security states do this.
This is super common in the United States. Like, it's one of those things that then when like you hear about it happening, the thing of it happening to left-wing groups is I think where it's like sounds a bit ultra bizarre, because I mean, like, don't get me wrong, in the US this happened in like the 60s and 70s a lot more of like FBI infiltration, but like long-term undercover operations things that like police in the US do is like typically like gang-related stuff, where you hear a lot about that. Where
but that's like the movie, like
no,
like
but like there is a bit of like reality to that too, though. Like there is like
of course, but that's the difference. Like there, it seems that nowadays is more about actual crime, gangs or like drugs, cartels, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like there isn't the thing too that the United States is also like a fanatically fascist country that then like thinks that this is normal too, like the use of undercover cops is pretty fucked up in like any scenario, like.
Yeah. But I think it's very different. I mean, I'm not condoning
No,
cops
of course,
at all.
yeah.
Like,
no. I'm just saying in the sense that then it's kind of funny then to like an American perspective to be like, oh, this is a normal thing. And then you kind of then have to like take the step back and realize that then, oh, wait, the United States is not a normal place. Like that.
Yeah. But I feel like in Europe, it's more of like actual activist groups. Like like.
Yeah, the kind of like anti-communist. But this was just like kind of like ethnicity targeted almost, right?
The thing is here it was basically specifically pro-independence of Catalonia things, groups mostly. But like this bitch, the police woman, they actually, it's insane, this documentary, they recorded like when the guy found out, he FaceTimed her, and she didn't know. She thought that they were still together, like that it was all fine. So he FaceTimed her for one last time, and they recorded that in the documentary. And he's literally like, "Oh, you know how you said, how, what do you say, like, if I could ever forgive you if you did whatever." And I said, "No, there's nothing that you could do that would make me hate you like that. Well, there's one thing that would make me hate you like that and never forgive you, which is if your real name was da 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 da." And
drama, yes.
Yeah. Like, I just love the way he approached it. It was just so dramatic, like a little.
Yeah.
And she just freezes, and then she just tries to she goes, "No, but I swear I do love you, and like everything was real. You did see the real me. The only thing you didn't know was that I'm a cop." And we're just like, that's your whole identity, motherfucker. Like, you are a cop. And then the mother of this woman is in the back, and she's like, "No, but we love you. You're like part of the family." And you're like, psycho, fucking psycho.
Don't.
And this policewoman is like, no, but it's not about pro-independence. You guys are not like so important. It's they're everywhere. We have cops everywhere in all activism groups in Spain.
This is like, the only way we can have families.
Yeah, right? It's like, okay, cool. So you're all like, it's just yeah, obviously, but obviously in Catalonia it's gonna be about the pro-independence. In Madrid, no, but because there was one case in Madrid, this woman who had been undercover 30 years. 30 years going to like, and how does your brain not get rewired? Like, how do you not? Because you're 30 years going to these protests, organizing stuff, fucking up, like doing actions, fucking up stuff for these actions, like doing all of these things, talking to these people every day. These people are supposed to be your friends. How does your brain not be like, get, you know, how,
it
how
like
much
does.
of a psycho do you have to be?
Yeah. No, you have
not
to
be like,
like
to not be like, oh, maybe these leftists are.
I mean, it does.
You know?
It has happened. I know that has happened in the States with like, particularly with the 60s and the hippies, where like a bunch of like cops went undercover, and there was like, it's actually this free love and having a bunch of drugs is super great. Fuck and just like defected basically. Less so when they were doing infiltration into things like Black Panthers or like Marxist reading groups or whatever. But like, yeah, the hippies had a strong selling point of do drugs and have sex.
Yeah, but it's crazy. And this woman was like, no, but it's not about you guys. We're everywhere. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. Give us a list.
So that makes it better.
List then. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely won't scar me for the rest of my life more than everything you've done already. Cool.
And the fucking police like spokesperson was like, we would like to, because obviously all these people affected by these infiltrated cops, they're like denouncing, they're pressing charges against them.
Yeah.
And for like literally, psychological abuse, sexual abuse as well, and all of that. And the spokesperson from the police was like, we actually would like to press charges against these people that have risked the security of our agents and, dox them and expose them. And it's just like, shut the fuck up. I will beat you up, woman. And she's wearing like a fucking Spanish flag bracelet, which that means she votes Vox, obviously.
Cringe, yeah.
And she's speaking Spanish. Obviously, she's from Madrid, so that's fine. But like, she's wearing the bracelet, and like, she has her sleeve like a bit down, so you can see the
my
bracelet.
Sick bracelet.
Yeah. Because like, this is for Catalan TV, so I'm gonna be wearing my Spanish bracelet.
Trigger the libs. Brackets
literally,
Catalan,
exactly.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, I really recommend it. It's for free. You can just Google it, and it actually has English subtitles if anyone's interested. Yeah. I mean, they're like automatic subtitles, so I'm not sure how good they're gonna be. But
I saw a bit of it. It's pretty decent because there's Catalan subtitles, like for the actual language, and when that happens, what they do is they just translate those.
Okay,
so it's not. The really horrible situation that happens is when there's no subtitles and Google does the thing of like, we're going to do voice detection, which is going to turn out really bad. And then we're going to Google Translate that shit. That's when it comes out garbage.
Yep.
Yeah. So the fact that there's actual written and, pre-approved Catalan subtitles and then it's being machine translated, that's great. That's how I like pay attention to French politics when there's an election. I have to find the French videos with French subtitles and translate those. All right. With that said, thank you for listening. And if you want more Corner Späti, we'll be over on patreon.com/Corner Späti, where you can get a bonus episode every week. Also, hey, we're all on Blue Sky now because Twitter is unfucking usable.
Yep.
So yeah, go to Blue Sky and just put in the search box my friends from the podcast and you'll find us.
Yep, that works. That's how that website works.
That's how it works. It just knows what you want. Yeah, we're all on there now. It's great. I'm having a lot of fun. Anyway, we will catch you on the bonus feed. Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.